One common thing everybody says that they are going to do SEO because they want their website to appear in the top searches. Hi, welcome to this video series. Today we are going to talk about a new topic which is SEO, search engine optimization, right? And this is a very important topic with respect to digital marketing as concerned. And most of the people I've seen, uh, they have got fairly good amount of knowledge about SEO. Right? But I think when I've spoken to most of the businesses, students, working professionals about their understanding about SEO, one common thing everybody says that they are going to do SEO because they want their website to appear in the top searches of search engine result pages. Right? I said, good, it is good. I mean, you've got a great vision. But again, I asked them another question, which was related to that was, what is that they are going to gain by being in top of the search engine result pages? Now their answers were like, because we will get more visitors coming to the website, we'll have more visibility onto the search engine platform, and we'll have better branding. I said all is good, but you have not talked about the revenue contribution which is going to come to you by virtue of you doing SEO on your website. I mean, then certainly they taken a pause to think about it, right? Then I told them my version of SEO, what I really think SEO should be actually doing for your website. Now, when you look at there, majorly I could say there are two major broader categories of people having the website. One is the website which are having the goal of getting a transaction done onto the website, which we call them as a e-commerce website. Right? On an e-commerce website, it is great that you should be having a clear-cut goal that when you go and do an SEO for your website or web pages, your only goal is to make people come back to the website, and they should be engaging themselves in doing a transaction on your website. And when people go and do transaction on a website, you're feeling good about it, right? But what if the website is not an e-commerce website? Maybe in a real estate company, maybe a software selling company, an enterprise software selling company, right? Maybe maybe a heavy industrial product selling company, right? A manufacturing company. In those situations, you're not going to sell anything on your website immediately, right? Which is not going to be the situation, because your product sales takes a longer duration of time. It has People have to go through a journey of a sales. I think we talked about in our previous one of our videos that what all journey or processes a visitor goes through when he or she is trying to consume a product which is meant for a commercial activity or from a business part of it. Right? We can certainly watch that video and you can go to the video library and find videos related to that one. Or maybe I will share the link into the chat for your reference. All right, let's come back. So if a website is not an e-commerce website and you want to do an SEO, then what should be your goal? The goal should be you are going to get the data of interested or prospects who are showing interest into your product, or they want to know more about your product or service. It means you're trying to make them to come to your website, wherein you have you have created a form which you want them to fill on your web page or a website or a landing page. That is your real goal, right? When you go and do an SEO for a non-e-commerce website, so your goal is to go and capture the leads, period, right? So in the both the situation, if you look at, you've got a very clear objective that you're going to either generate a revenue, or you're going to create a sales funnel, or maybe you're going to create a list of prospects which would be passed through a series of processes and activities, and then they might be put into a sales funnel and they might get converted into a sales. So in this case, the SEO definition becomes very, very clear that you are going to do SEO on your website so that the SEO activity will lead you to earn a revenue, or it will help you in generating a lead or a sales. All right. But I hope you understood. But right now, today's topic was not about SEO best practices. So today's topic is all about what kind of companies won't be interested in doing an SEO, right? What kind of companies won't be interested in doing an SEO? So here you got to see. So I was saying what kind of companies might not be interested in doing SEO. What kind of business might not be interested in doing SEO, right? Super. So first thing first, one I could see is companies which are involved into creating innovative product for which there is no market at all right now. Or I could say consumers do not have any nearby idea that there's a product of this sort which exists on the in the universe, right? Maybe if I have to think through, maybe I could think of maybe let's say you want to, like, remember there's a mobile phone which is going to have a razor for people to shave. I mean, it is an imaginary product which is I'm just thinking about right now. Assuming, so this is something a company might have created. They've created a mobile phone for men. If they want to shave while on the go, they can just use the blade and shave it, right? So right now, this product might not be known to people around. They do not know what to search for. So in this kind of companies, if I'm a company, I create a product of this kind, a mobile phone with a razor blade, nobody will read it. Nobody will find me because nobody is searching about it. There's no keyword like that, right? So first thing first, the companies who are into any innovative product for which there is no market, people do not have any idea about it. For those kind of companies, putting the most important effort in SEO might not be useful. Then what is going to be useful? Think about it, right? So here comes a very, very important follow-up question for people like you. If you come across a company of this kind, right, and you are given the opportunity to market their product, then what could be your marketing strategy? How you will do the marketing of those kind of companies wherein the product is completely innovative, completely unknown to the world? Think about it, and you can certainly mention the answer into the comment section of this video. I would love to see your responses, right? Come back. Now, what are the other kind of companies which might not be putting their main focus in doing an SEO for the business? One, if there's a company which is looking for the immediate results, I've seen there are many companies, maybe they are sales driven companies. For those companies, every month on month, they just need to do more sale. And when you look at these companies, their sales contribution coming from SEO is very, very minuscule, right? Because they put their more emphasis on other part of the marketing activities because they've got a timeline to reach every month end. And if they keep on waiting, doing the wait and watch that SEO is going to give them returns, certainly it is not going to work for them as well, right? So if there are any sort of companies which you could think that they're running on a target, they're chasing a target very aggressively, then certainly their main focus will not be on SEO, right? So for those kind of companies, you have to think something else which is going to make them better. For example, so here comes a question for you. Question number two, what marketing strategies do you recommend for the companies like this? Those are only depending on generating a sales, or they're chasing a target every month. Maybe not very every month. I could say every fortnight, every 15 days, they need to meet the targets. Their life cannot depend on merely SEO leads or SEO sales. Put your answer into the comment section. I would love to hear about it. Then we'll look at another kind of companies. Then the third kind of companies who are not really very much focused in doing an SEO are the large enterprise companies. I'm talking about companies like Infosys, Wipro, TCS, Accenture. If you look at these companies, they are existing for more than 15, 20 years. And if you look at their web servers, would be roughly having more than a lakh web pages. And for these companies, it is very, very difficult task to implement a new SEO strategy because their website would be running on a very old legacy CMS content management system. And these companies, because they are in a, such a big size that the approval processes is really taking a long time, and the people at the execution level, they might really not really put an important focus. The only reason is this kind of companies, if you look at, they have been doing the marketing from ages, so their brand is known to the world, and people know them by their names. So for this kind of companies, certainly SEO might not be their prime focus, right? They might be putting their entire effort on other parts of marketing, other types of marketing, right? The only reason I could see is this kind of company, the large enterprise companies, they they need to take a good amount of approvals, which is a very lengthy process, and also the execution plan itself is a very, very lengthier. So let me put up a question to you: is if you come across companies of something of this kind, maybe you go to Wipro or you go to TCS, and you are heading the digital marketing department, and you are being told that you have to go and do the SEO for to the website, then what could be your strategy, how you would be planning to do SEO on their legacy website, which is running on their website, which is running on legacy CMS. So if you got your answer with you, if you got some sort of idea in your mind, I would be happy to hear from you. Put them into the comment section, and we all get benefited from your responses. Right? Let's come back. Now, there's one more important one is there's another kind of company. These kind of people do not really invest in SEO. One is if the company is into business of selling tickets, the event tickets, movie tickets, right? So these kind of guys, again, they do not want to spend their entire money on effort and doing an SEO because they are running on a limited time frame. So within X amount of time, they have to go and sell their tickets, right? As I told you, SEO is a long-term activity. So when you start doing an SEO today, you would be seeing the results of that SEO activities maybe at least after 3 months of time. So businesses cannot wait and watch for 3 months long duration to see the effects coming up. And if the events are happening on a month over month, then certainly the companies won't be putting their entire focus on SEO. They would be doing the other part of the marketing. So here comes another question for you. If you are really serious about answering it, the question is, what marketing strategy do you recommend for selling event tickets? I know most of you would be knowing the answer, but yes, if you know it, please mention to the comment section. I would love to hear from you all. Right? Look at something else. Come on. Now, this is very, very important, right? Companies which are startup and they are bootstrap funded. It means they are putting their own personal money which they've got from their savings or they borrowed from their family and friends. So these kind of companies are running on a very, very limited budget. And when they've got a limited budget, certainly they do not want to put their entire money into SEO, a big robust SEO plan. Because of the one simple reason, as we talked about earlier as well, that SEO activities show the result after a couple of months. And that's the reason companies, they shy away in putting or investing a lot of money in SEO. Now, if you're a startup guy and you know the power of SEO, the power of SEO is an SEO activity will always give you the highest ROI, return on investment. It means if you do a proper SEO onto the website and over a period of time, you will be certainly able to see the returns coming from your SEO effort. It means you would be able to get a lead or a sale from your website organically. And believe me, when your business starts coming organically into the search results, you start getting more branding, more popularity, and more sale. Right? So if this is the case, I recommend you have to spend money in SEO for a long run, higher returns. So here comes another question right now for you. If you're running a small business, small startup with a limited budget in hand, how you will do SEO without investing huge budget? Send me your answer. But I've got better, I could say, proposal for you, or I could say idea for you is, if you are in a startup company and you think that you are certainly going to spend roughly around 30 to 40,000 rupees per month in in SEO activity, or maybe if I look at a very minuscule one, maybe around say 15 20,000 rupees per month in investing in SEO, and that you keep on doing for at least 7 8 months minimum, because that is where you are going to create the base for your business. So 7 to 8 months of investment, 10,000 rupees per month, comes around 80,000 rupees for 1 year. And again, as I said, SEO has to be done continuously. You cannot wait once you've done the job and you stop it, right? So SEO is a continuous activity which we are supposed to do, right? So in this case, if I still tell you that you should do SEO on your website, right? So what is an option left? The option is, if you're a CEO of your company, or you're heading a startup company, then I could recommend you invest just 30% of your entire budget. If your budget is for an year is 1 lakh, just invest 30%. Means you spend 30,000 rupees in educating yourself, not only SEO, but learn the entire stack of digital marketing. Right from how to make a website, how to write a content which can convince people to go and buy your product, right? How to do SEO on page and off page, right? Then we told how to do Google Ads, social media marketing, advertising, right? After doing all these things, then you have to learn that whatever activities you are doing, you're going the right way or not. You have to learn Google Analytics. You have to, if your efforts are really going good, you're able to see good traction coming in, you're able to get the leads. Go and do the email marketing, marketing automation, right? So it is an entire thing which I feel as a startup guy, if you are only the sole person, you're managing entire things on your, and you also want to spend less money by outsourcing other part of the job to different agencies. So the option would be, spend your time in learning, right? It has got two better benefits, I tell you. Benefit number one, if you're able to spend your time in learning, so you know what is correct, what is good, what is wrong. And tomorrow, if you have got a good budget, you got money, you got funding, and then you are going to outsource your job to an agency or to vendor. Then in that case, the beauty is, you know what you want from the digital marketing activity. You will not be taken for a ride from the agency. That's one of the biggest thing which you'd be getting from investment in digital marketing course, right? I would recommend you to look at my this website which I have got. So wherein you can go to strategyworks.in. Let me show you the stuff, right? So if you go to my website here, so you could find some really good courses available, but I recommend you to look at one particular course which is really good, and it is good for you actually. I could say this is very very important. So come down here and you look at this one, the most essential expert certificate course. With this course is meant for people who are really looking to gain the knowledge, not only knowledge, I could say hands-on knowledge of working, and it will make you confident not only in the topics whatever is being included, but also it's going to make you expert into digital marketing. This is a complete 3 months program minimum. So when I say 3 months, this is 3 months is my teaching time. It does not include your practical hours of working. It does not include either project, and other things are separate. So it means you're going to spend 3 months of your important time with me in learning each and every concept in detail. And if you know, my class size is not very big. We are only having maximum 10 to 15 people. On an average, we have got 5 to 6 people in a batch. But maximum, we take around 15 people, not more than that. So that I can certainly give an entire focused attention to each one of you here into the class. Right? If you look at here, this is really a good module, right? I've included some more topics here, like if you know about what is programmatic buying, what is Google Ads Manager. Those are again important topics which you would be learning very soon. I'm going to create the videos onto that side as well, so that you would be ready to run your startup, or if you're going to look for a job, absolutely fantastic for that as well, right? So you can certainly, if you're interested to look at this course, so you can want to buy, add to the cart, and if you want to pay in installments, most welcome. We have an option available, but for that you can send me an email. I should be able to assist you with the EMI part of it. All right. I hope this was good for you. You might have enjoyed. You might have got some really good insights and knowledge about digital marketing, about SEO. Right. So keep following me. I should be coming up with other more programs related to SEO. All right. So keep enjoying. See you later.